guys, it's Bunny and welcome to whatever this is, whatever we're gonna call it. Here we are again, just chit-chatting and talking about this time Money in the Bank 2024. I have with me here who else but Wiz as well as Instant Human. Hello guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello there. Always like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hello there.
We are gonna stick to the point. We're not gonna drag a lot, talk a lot. Hope this one is gonna be as entertaining as possible. We do have a lot to talk about though, because we have 2024 WWE Money in the Bank matches. We have like 5-6 of those and some predictions as well.
The event taking place on July 6th from the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. So this is a nice big event for Canada. What match should we start with first? Should we talk about the IC title?
The IC title? What's IC title?
Yeah, Intercontinental.
IC title. Okay. Well, I feel like that's the one that is least promoted, but at the same time, really important in my opinion, because I personally like both wrestlers that are in it. We have Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker. I personally would really love to see Braun Breaker go forward. I love Sami Zayn so much and he has been beloved, but I feel like Braun Breaker needs this push right now because he has been doing really well recently.
Oh, he's been killing it. Yeah, I mean, Braun's just been tearing through the competition. And I don't know if you know why he does that.
Why? No.
His dad and uncle.
His father is Rick Steiner. And of course his brother Scott Steiner, the Steiner
there is
brothers,
this documentary that is coming out, right?
Yep, tonight is when it comes out.
Oh my god, I wish I could watch it. Maybe I will be able to watch it somehow. Because we don't it's on A&E and we don't have that in Germany. I don't know if it's like only an American
Germany
thing.
restricts quite a bit, huh?
I know. We don't even have HBO Max. We don't have, but they have their own sites where we can like watch stuff. Like for example, Game of Thrones and stuff like that. We can watch it on WoW TV or something like that. It's not HBO Max, but subscription for every single thing, man, all my money would go on that. Zayn versus Breaker versus Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser, and then basically what happened there. Do you remember the match? Nothing. None of you remember. Basically, but it was.
I was confused because I was like, what match? I was like, it's Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn, and then you throw out all those other names. I was like,
no, this could
she's talking about past matches.
Yeah, this was before it ended up with Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. This could have easily been Zayn versus Breaker versus Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser. After Breaker versus Sheamus ended with Sheamus getting the disqualification win after being attacked by Kaiser, as you remember. And then Sheamus attacking Kaiser for the DQ during Kaiser's match with Breaker. So instead, Zayn offered Breaker a chance to challenge him anytime, anywhere. And that's how we have the Intercontinental Championship. Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank.
Do you say it on Money in the Bank or in Money in the Bank?
In.
On the event? In the event?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Or during Money in the Bank?
During, yeah.
Or during Money in the Bank. I mean, Braun really deserves this push. I mean, what an incredible athlete. That man's doing things inside the ring I've never seen. And so I'm super impressed with his in-ring work. Super entertaining to watch. I mean, the guy's just a powerhouse. I mean, especially that move where he bounces off the ropes super fast. He comes flying at you like a freight train. Kind of dangerous, but that's how it's meant to look. It's meant to look devastating, meant to look dangerous, and it does the job. So, I mean, he's just doing it. He's doing incredible, and he really deserves this push for sure.
I always love to see someone who is talented on the mic as well as in the ring and looking like a fierce and scary opponent. And we don't really get a lot of those. Like a lot of people have to grow into the career and do so much in order to be where he is. And I feel like he was just born to be who he is. I know he was back in NXT and he had a career, and has also like a family, right? Who was in WWE as well. So he comes from someone who knows a thing or two about it. But the fact that he is a born leader and a born talent like this, and I immediately saw someone who is gonna probably become a favorite of mine in the future.
I mean, do you remember what Undertaker said to him when he was in NXT? That special appearance by the Undertaker, and he had that little moment with Braun in NXT, and he said, "Braun, you're going to be a very special talent."
They saw that in him
So yeah,
immediately.
yeah, they saw that in him immediately, and so could Taker. So yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, Braun is like coming from a famous family. Like growing up as a kid, Steiner Brothers was my favorite tag team. So like
I know
his
nothing about
gimmick
him.
and everything, his gimmick and everything. Like if you watch anything about them, you'll see like where he gets a lot of his moves, like the Frankensteiner off the top of the turnbuckle, and
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of his chants and taunts and all that is
Okay.
even his ring attire is all stems from like his
Oh,
family and
that's so
stuff.
nice.
And even in NXT, so Gunther's last match in NXT, he got beat by Braun Breaker. It was the clean pin. So it's
Okay.
like he's definitely a powerhouse.
Yeah.
And I
How
think the
old is
only
he?
way he'll lose, I'm not sure, but I think the only way he loses this match is I could see another interference because I don't think he's going to get pinned clean
I mean,
by
he's
Sammy.
26 years old. He's
Is
26.
he?
He's still,
Yeah. He's so
yeah, yeah.
young.
Yeah.
Yeah. Born
So
in October
he
24th, 1997.
Yeah, he's got a bright future in the company. Whether he's going to get the belt right now or maybe later on, I'm not sure. But if he does lose, I see it being an interference
I
and
do
then
have a
maybe setting up a
question
triple
though.
threat match.
Is it Intercontinental Championship meant for people who are not born in America?
No,
Or
no, no.
No, 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 no.
So look at the titles as like kind of like a gold, silver, and bronze type of thing. Where like the United States is like the bronze, and then
yeah.
Intercontinental
Oh,
is like silver, and it
the
doesn't
United
matter where
States,
you're
come on. It
born.
would be
No,
gold.
no, no. Well, think of it as like the world then. So like the U.S. is just one continent, so it's like the lower tier on the list. Intercontinental
Ah,
means multiple
yeah.
continents. So it's
Multiple
like you're the
continents.
best out of multiple continents. And
Okay.
then
Multiple.
world obviously means you're best out of the world.
The whole
So
world,
think of
yeah.
it as like, because I think back in the day, the way the belts was
There
is,
was a lot more belts.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was stemmed through like
Yeah.
out the US, like Midwest and different regions and stuff. And
Yeah,
then they
the European
combined it to the
title.
Yeah,
US
I
and then
did
it
react to a
became
video like
Intercontinental. And
all the titles or all the belts, and I was so confused. I was like, how many belts are there? And then people thought that I thought they still exist nowadays, and I know that they don't exist nowadays. I've been following Raw and
Yeah.
SmackDown and everything, and they don't mention these belts anymore. So I know they don't exist anymore, but maybe I wasn't really like I didn't explain
I
it in
mean,
the
we've
video
got,
because I was really confused
yeah.
how many there were.
I mean, we've got no more hardcore championship, no more European championship, no more light heavyweight championship, no more cruiserweight title.
So
Although that's
many,
kind of
so
become
many.
that's kind of become the speed championship.
yeah, yeah. I
But
wish
yeah,
they
there
would
was a
bring
lot.
some titles back, honestly, because
Mm.
we got. I mean, I get why they trimmed down the fat to make it more focused on like different stories or whatever. But now it's like we're starting to branch out and get so many budding stars where it's like they're not really world champion
Yeah,
quality yet, but they still deserve some
yeah,
sort of like
I
recognition.
agree.
So I think there should be a few more
A
titles
few
added back,
more smaller ones, yeah. Besides the
especially
tag
in the
team
women's
ones.
division. The women barely have any titles.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, I thought the women have exactly the same titles like men, to be honest. Was it
What they
only
got
maybe
the
the Intercontinental
Well,
is
yeah, I was gonna
missing?
say they don't have like the U.S. and
And the
Intercontinental.
US and Intercontinental. Yeah, I feel like these two. All right, let's move on with the next match. World's Heavyweight Championship. Should we talk about this last or now? Because I felt like I want to
We
talk
can do it.
last about the Bloodline situation because I have a lot to talk about that. So before
Oh
we
yeah,
go
yeah.
on with the Bloodline situation, I want to mention that World Heavyweight Championship. We have Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins. And honestly, you guys, Seth Rollins just appears and he gets a match. I feel like Drew McIntyre is so pissed right now. He is so mad about the situation.
Yeah, yeah, and
Well,
there's stipulation as well, isn't there, to the match as well for
yeah.
each of them.
Imagine Seth
So
Rollins actually wins this.
Well, I'll talk about that. It kind of ties into who I think is gonna win men's Money in the Bank,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'll touch on that once we get to the men's Money in the Bank. It'll all kind of tie together. You'll see where I'm coming from.
I don't know. I don't want
But
Seth to win because I feel
I
like
was
he
gonna.
gets it so easy. He just appears and he wins the championship again, like nothing happened. Like deleting every last like 2-3 months that we had, like nothing happened there. But him actually not winning it means that he will never be able to compete against Damian Priest for the heavyweight championship, which means someone else needs to get it. So Seth Rollins can compete with that person, which in my opinion makes more sense and it's more fun.
I'll just leave it short because, like I said, I'll tie it in more when we get to men's Money in the Bank. I think that Priest will retain the title.
Yeah,
I think
that too.
I think the opposite. Actually, I think because there's this been for a while now, fans have been talking about, Priest kind of needs to leave the Judgment Day. He needs to go out on his own. He's been doing great on his own, doing great promos on his own, great work on his own. So why is he still being restricted by Judgment Day? So if Seth wins, the stipulation is that he leaves, Damian leaves Judgment Day. So I don't know. I'm kind of feeling Seth on this one, guys.
To be honest, I feel like Damian is not the one who's gonna decide to leave Judgment Day. I think that Judgment Day is gonna leave Damian.
Yeah,
which will make us feel more. Yeah, they're gonna betray him, especially Finn Balor and Dom on Liv Morgan's side, and Carlito's gonna follow them probably because he has been accepted by them before he has been accepted by Damian.
Right. Yeah.
And of course JD is gonna follow Finn. So I have a feeling that that's going to happen. So we feel that the betrayal from Damian's side, and we feel like more compassionate towards Damian, and we want to see him actually prove to himself and to others that he does not need them, because he has been saying that for a while now, but he didn't show us why and how he would be without them.
Yeah. Like you said, if he was just to lose the match and then leave, it's like, oh, well, you had to, like, we're going to miss you, whatever. But there's a lot more story that could be told if, like, it's a betrayal and he gets backstabbed. There's a lot more storylines.
I mean, he has been questioning them for a while. You notice with Finn Balor being in Liv Morgan's room, or I don't know.
Yeah, like taking the key card, the hotel key card and all that.
And, like, Finn is like, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Like, come on, that's so freaking sus. Of course you have to worry about it. So I feel like Damian is definitely losing the leadership slowly there. And something is going to change. Big bang. But yeah. And if Seth Rollins wins, who do you think would be his next opponent though? Who would he be feeding, or how do you call it? Beefing with?
See, I haven't thought too much into it because I think
we have to predict.
Well, the reason why I didn't think too much into it is because I think he just kind of popped back in just so there was like a filler match for Damian Priest, because they was just like, what are we gonna do real quick? Oh, you just get in here, fight Priest. Priest is gonna retain, and then you can just kind of go off and do your own thing with Becky until Priest loses the title. Then you can show back up. Like, give him just a little time off,
I feel like vacation. That makes more sense, because if Seth Rollins wins the match, he's the World Heavyweight Championship again. Now, we don't have any person, not even one person that we would mention that is worth fighting that championship for. Like, Drew McIntyre is definitely right now busy with CM Punk. I don't see him focusing on Seth Rollins and beefing with Seth Rollins and starting all over. He does want the World Heavyweight Championship, but at this point, I think he wants to beat up CM Punk and fight with CM Punk and finish this whole situation with CM Punk before actually focusing on the World Heavyweight Championship again.
Yeah. And like I said, I'll get more into that once we start talking about the men's ladder match.
Because Drew McIntyre is in it, right? No, he's fighting in Raw on Monday, right?
Yeah, he's not guaranteed a spot just yet, but he could be.
Okay, let's talk about women's Money in the Bank ladder match before we move on with the men's MITB. So we have Io Sky, Chelsea Green, Lyra Valkyria, and we have from SmackDown, who won? Naomi.
Yep, Naomi.
Lyra, Tiffany, Chelsea, Naomi, and Io Sky. We haven't seen the SmackDown yet, so he's not. Yeah, Naomi actually won. With the help, Naomi won. I don't know if you saw. I didn't watch it. Nia came and tried to help Tiffany, but then who was it? Was it Jade or Bianca?
Jade.
Jade came in.
Jade was in the match.
No, Jade was in the match. Bianca came to help her. Let's check this out, and then we can cut this part. Legit, I have no idea who was fighting Naomi Campbell. Campbell.
Not Naomi Campbell. She said,
We're cutting this for
Yeah,
sure.
Holy
Definitely
shit,
cut
that
that.
fucking Naomi Campbell. Holy shit.
Okay, wait,
she
wait.
threw a
That
cell
Naomi
phone at her to
Campbell
win.
So basically, we have, uh, like Naomi actually won that one with the help of Jade Cargill. She came and interfered. She was fighting against, I think, Blair and Indy, or I don't know her name.
Hartwell, yeah.
Yep,
Blair
Indy
Davenport,
Hartwell.
Indy Hartwell.
Yeah. Yeah. And I honestly, this was like the first time I was like, I want Naomi to win, but I feel like they don't want me to, they don't want her because she's the favorite from 3. But she actually did win. And I was like, oh my God, that's so awesome to see her in Women's Money in the Bank. So now we have her as well. And we have just one more person left to join Money in the Bank on Monday on Raw, because we are recording this podcast on Sunday, so we don't know. But do you know who's competing tomorrow?
So it'll be Zoe Stark versus Dakota Kai versus Ivy Nile.
Oh,
And honestly, I don't think that's really going to matter too much, because I think that out of everyone competing, I think Tiffany is going to win the Money in the Bank match.
oh, that's your prediction?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah, okay. I mean,
'Cause-
from these 3, from Zoe Stark, Dakota, and Ivy, I feel Dakota Kai is like my favorite choice here. But we already have Io Sky, so I don't know. It kind of doesn't make sense.
Right.
Maybe Zoe, because we don't have her teammate. What's her name? Shayna?
Shayna
Zoe's-
Baszler.
Yeah, Shayna is not there, so maybe Zoe. I don't know. That's
I mean,
my
it's
opinion.
great that Naomi made it into the match. I mean, she's really, she's a veteran. She's been around a long time, been around the business a long time. She's not afraid to do these kind of matches. She's not afraid to jump off of things and go for the big spots. So, it's great to see Naomi in the match. But I'm gonna go with a wild card and actually say Chelsea Green.
No, that's my least
Imagine-
choice.
Imagine the pop the crowd
No.
will give.
No,
if Chelsea
no.
wins.
And
Imagine.
that's why I think she won't win, because the crowd is so on her side now. I don't think
No,
they
they're
want to turn
not.
her
What are you
baby
talking
face.
about? Like, look at my reaction. I'm the first, like, who the hell is gonna pick Chelsea to win?
Yeah, but the crowd loves her. So if Chelsea
The crowd,
wins, the crowd
loves
loves her.
Lyra. They love Tiffany. They love Naomi. They love
Not
Io
as much as
Sky.
Chelsea.
Like, if they
Not-
have to
not
choose
like
anyone
Chelsea.
here, it would be Tiffany.
Not as
in
much
my
as
opinion.
Chelsea. I mean, Tiffany. for
Tiffany
sure.
and Naya right
Tiffany-
now, they are really like together. So I feel like it would be really cool if Tiffany wins the Money in the Bank and cashes it
I
on
think
Naya and
probably-
betrays her. Oh, that would be a plot. That would be a storyline for Naya, because she
Or
doesn't
what
have
if
any
Nia
storyline right
helped
now.
her?
But
Yeah,
Naya
I
was
could
helping
see-
her to win this Money in the Bank. So it would be like a punch in the face. She actually helped her and then she got betrayed. At
Yeah,
least my
that's
opinion.
exactly what I was thinking was going to
Yeah.
happen. But Tiffany would win the title, and then Nia would take it from her. And then also looking at the bigger picture, so Tiffany's from SmackDown, so if she wins, it'll be which actually I think they get to choose which belt they go for. I don't remember, but she's from SmackDown, so she would go up against Bayley. They don't want to have Liv lose her title because she's still got the whole story going on with Rhea and stuff. So
Yeah,
they're
no,
saving
no,
that
no.
for her.
Yeah.
So Tiffany being from SmackDown makes sense. She takes the belt, and then Nia turns on her and then gets the belt from Tiffany.
Wait, what belt does Bailey have?
She has the women's championship belt too, but is it still cut between divisions, or do they have? I know they changed the names on them a while
Now
back,
I'm a bit
and I
confused.
just
Why both
never
of them?
came up
Why
on 'em.
does no Naya actually doesn't have a belt? She just won the crown jewel,
No,
right? She's the
but
queen of.
no, Nia doesn't have a belt, but Bailey does. Bailey has the belt.
Really,
Ah, I thought Naya has a belt, so that Tiffany situation made more sense for me. But now that
No,
and you
no.
cannot lose the queen, the title, right? You cannot cash on a title, only on the championship belt.
It just
No.
gives you, it gives you the opportunity to go for a championship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine Naya goes to Bailey to get the championship and then gets it, and then Tiffany gets it
I-
from Naya.
Yeah.
I
then
just don't
Tiffany
see
versus
Tiffany
Bayley?
beating Nia one-on-one.
Tiffany versus Bailey. I don't see that. I see Lyra versus Bailey, to be honest.
No, because then that's two baby faces. And Lyra's still pretty green to me. I don't
Io
think she's
Sky
ready for a
again versus
championship.
Bailey. You know that they have beef with damage control and whatnot.
Yeah, but at
But they
this point, I
already
feel like
did it,
damage
yeah.
control is kind of like done and over
Exactly,
with.
right? Like,
Yeah,
let's
they're
move
kinda
on. We don't want to
finished.
repeat
Yeah.
things. CM Punk loves repeating things all the time with Drew McIntyre and milking
Yeah.
it. But
I mean,
maybe in this
even
situation.
Asuka at the moment, she's still out with her. Was it a knee injury she had?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I haven't
yeah,
seen
so
her for
she's
a
still out.
while. I didn't know
Since
she had.
Backlash. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right,
she's still
so
around.
that's, I guess, it. Anything else to add for women's ladder match?
It's gonna be an entertaining match. I mean, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be full of comedy with Chelsea in there, screaming and
That's one thing
begging
I love
and,
about
and
Chelsea.
running away.
Definitely.
So I'm actually looking forward to seeing what
It's gonna be really fun.
shenanigans.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be the
Always
most fun
entertaining.
match of the whole event,
Yeah.
like the most funny
Yeah.
and more charming. Not because they're women, but because Chelsea is there. To be honest, like,
Right,
she
yeah.
definitely does that. I don't see anyone else from the men mentioned here that they're on the level. If R-Truth was a part of it, then maybe, yeah. But since he is
Right.
not, we
Who knows? He might actually run in again and actually try and run up the ladder.
Yeah.
He will be in the land like the female, the women's bunny in the back
Oh my
again.
God.
And
Yeah,
because
like
of him, one
Was it
person
the-
loses. Yeah.
Was it that one Royal Rumble when he
Yes,
came in and brought a
he came
ladder
into
and
the
she
women
couldn't climb
one,
it?
and because of
Is that
him, that girl, the Valkyrie girl or something, lost, and she was so pissed off. Oh my god,
Oh,
that was so awesome.
yeah, Valkyria.
I don't
Well,
know
there
if
was
it was
one
Valkyrie
match-
or someone
Valkyrie.
else.
There was one match that he did. I think it was at one of the other past Royal Rumbles where he brought a ladder in and climbed the ladder and was acting like
Pick it
he's
up.
reaching for the title, and there was literally nothing hanging from the ring.
Looking up. And then he ran into the women's Royal Rumble and he's like, "Well, there's only women in here," you know. It's like just relax.
Oh my god, I love
Yeah.
him. He is so
Yeah,
special.
he's great.
Okay, so the next match, which is the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, and we have Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, Chad Gable, and last SmackDown, LA Knight actually won, which is
Yep.
very surprising. Because even in this article by CBS Sports, they put it as a 2024 WWE Money in the Bank predictions, and they only had one prediction, the United States Championship with Logan Paul versus LA Knight, which I guess now is not happening because LA Knight is in Money in the Bank.
Yeah, so they were
Yeah.
surprised by his win too if they was predicted.
Of
Yeah.
course you would be surprised because they have been beefing beyond the
It's
actual
been a
Money
big,
in the Bank.
big
like-
feud.
Yeah, it has
Yeah.
been for a while. It's been big, and also, Wiz, you didn't see, but when he won, there was a knuckle brass. Is it called knuckle brass or brass knuckle?
Brass
Brass
knuckles.
knuckles.
Brass knuckle.
Brass
I
knuckle,
always
yeah.
mess up these two words. He had a brass knuckle. This time he actually had it with some guy from. I'm not gonna say
So,
some guy, but
I'm not a big sports fan.
Me, I
never
don't know
really
American
cared
sport.
about any of that. So
Yeah.
I will give you the gist of it though. So the guy that came out with Logan Paul is actually from my home state. He's a basketball player from my home state. And they were in New York, Madison Square
Jalen
Garden.
Brunson, right?
Yeah, and the guy from my state in Indiana, the Pacers, beat New York, and like I don't know what it was. Like I said, I don't follow sports. I don't care enough. But I just know that my team from Indiana beat the team in New York. So Logan Paul brought the guy from Indiana to piss everybody off because they're in New York. And the other basketball player that helped LA Knight was from New York. So
Yeah, that's
That
why
was
I
that whole
loved
little
him more. Yeah,
dynamic.
I noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see a bit of that. Yeah. That was
Actually,
great.
that's it's so smart by Logan Paul, and he's such a business guy as well. If you think about it, like mixing those sports together, bringing two audiences into one, making a
everyone in.
beef about it. Like the guy wasn't only just sitting and waving; he actually participated. He took the knuckle brass and
Brass
almost
knuckle?
hit brass knuckle. Oh my god! How do I always do this? Brass knuckle and almost hit LA Knight with it. So imagine
will-
that.
I will say, from a business standpoint, it is very smart.
Yeah.
But as a wrestling fan, my God, is that shit cringe. They're not wrestlers, they're NBA players. They get in, they stand there awkwardly, they like
I mean, they
fake,
don't know
awkwardly
how to
talk.
act.
I mean, I know.
That one guy
it.
came in with a chair and he was just like standing there with the chair, like
But
didn't know if
LA
he
did
wanted to
help
hit him or not.
him.
Like
I mean, I think
Of
Logan.
course,
I
he would
think
not hit
obviously.
him. Yeah.
I think
it was
Logan.
just,
He
it
wants
was so
to.
cringe.
It is. I mean, the
LA
Logan
Knight
wants to bring.
helped
He
a
wants to
bit.
bring. He wants to bring people in. And this
Yeah,
is where he
and
does
I
it well.
respect that entirely. It's
I
just
mean, we
they
always
need to
had
work on it
celebrities
more
in
if
And
they can
WWE.
do
and it
that.
brings more attention to brings more attention to WWE as well. It brings more attention
Exactly.
out
Because
of it.
all
So
the
it's good.
sports, like news and whatever, they're gonna mention this. Even if they didn't mention WWE, they're gonna mention this event, and this is
Yeah.
for Money in the Bank, a great sponsorship. Like great opportunity to promote it further. I don't see anything wrong with that. It was a bit cringe, but that's what I'm used to with celebrities in WWE, to be honest.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Every
you
time they
gotta
are
lower
there.
expectations for
Yeah.
that.
Like you just see them and you're like, okay, yeah, they're just there for show, to wave a bit, make just a small scene. But the wrestlers around them are the ones who make it better. Like LA Knight held that chair. He actually, when the guy went in, he threw the chair so close to the other guy. And LA Knight brought the chair back to him, because if you think about it, if you see a chair in front of you, you're going to snatch it and take it on your side. You're not
Right.
going to give it to the other guy,
Right.
So LA Knight immediately reacted there as a professional, and he knew that he has to bring the chair closer to wait for the guy to get up and give him the chair. And
Yeah.
constantly he was like holding that chair and like pretending he's gonna hit and stuff. So yeah, this is what the wrestlers know how to do. This is what basketball players don't know how to do. So yeah.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so we have, as we said, Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, Chad Gable, as well as LA Knight. And we have one more person that is about to join tomorrow. And in the competition on Monday Night Raw, we have Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre versus Ilya Dragunov. Holy moly. I don't know, but if Drew McIntyre wins, then everything we were talking about earlier about Seth Rollins and championship and stuff is like now completely mixed.
Well, this is where it was tying in for me. Why I said Damian was going to retain. So I think Drew wins Money in the Bank, cashes it in on Priest, because it's like perfect, because that's exactly what happened to him. Then that sets a build up where now the CM Punk Drew feud actually has a title on the line as well.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And then I could also, in a twist, I could either see once Drew wins the championship, they slowly build him as like sympathetic, like CM Punk is the one that screwed him, and like slowly turn him into a babyface. And then by time it comes around for the match, CM Punk loses, and then he turns on the crowd like, you guys are fake, you never have my back, and then they turn him as a heel.
Wow, a whole
Yeah,
drama. Oh my god.
Well, CM Punk is a really good heel.
Oh, he is, but yeah. I mean, that makes sense timeline-wise, because they need time to build all this.
Yeah, because you got to cook all this stuff up. Yeah.
You got to cook it up before SummerSlam. SummerSlam is the biggest event of the summer.
SummerSlam is not that far. It's in 1.5 months.
Exactly. So
that's not a lot. That's like what? 7 appearances?
6 weeks? 6 weeks?
Well, they could build it up
weeks.
even for like next year as well. So
yeah.
Dude, that's a lot to make CM Punk go to a heel again. I think 6 weeks is not enough.
That's
why
you don't
I
see
think
him
it might be
on
further
a weekly
basis. Yeah, I think that would be something further, not in SummerSlam.
I mean, with SummerSlam, I meant is like, I think we're going to get Drew versus CM Punk in one way or another, because SummerSlam's the biggest event of the summer. It is the WrestleMania of the summer. There's going to be huge matches on that card. So,
do you have an idea where it's going to be held? If it's in Chicago, then...
No.
I don't think it's in Chicago this time. I think it's elsewhere.
Yeah, I know, but if it is in Chicago, of course, then 100% you know that CM Punk is going to appear and win something, because Chicago fan and it's his hometown. But yeah, that sounds like the best outcome is for Drew McIntyre to win this tomorrow and to win that Money in the Bank, take it away from Damian Karma, back again where we started.
And see, so he's got a full year when he wins it. So he could still face Punk at SummerSlam without the title and then cash it in later and take the title from Priest.
Yeah. I mean, SummerSlam's going to be held in Ohio, so I think we're okay. It's not going to be
I mean,
Yeah.
It's
okay,
in
if we
Ohio.
take Drew McIntyre away from this, Ilya Dragunov versus Sheamus, like who do you think would win?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Well, Sheamus has kind of already had his push. Like he's just
Did
kind
he
of
He's a
ever
there at
veteran.
win
this
Money in
He's
the
a
point.
Bank?
veteran
Because
now.
the only person that, from the
He did.
people who are already in, that participated in Money in the Bank is Andrade in 2019. So none of them actually had a chance to get a Money in the Bank match before. So I don't know if Sheamus did because he has been there for a while.
Yeah, it says Sheamus has won Money in the Bank before, from what I can see here.
Okay.
But I think with Sheamus now, he's in the latter part of his career, and as we
True.
know, when you're sort of that veteran, the older dog in the yard, as they say,
That's so
your kind of
sad.
role, it is, but
I don't
age
like
is
that. I don't
opinion,
like
even
that
in
also for
wrestling.
Randy
I know,
Orton. Randy Orton
I
deserves
know.
better.
I
Of
was gonna
course,
say, I'm glad you
a
said
lot
him
of
because
people
that's
do.
exactly how he is.
A lot of people deserve better. I mean, you could even look at the other people like
Maybe that's why we
Kane.
need more
Kane
titles.
Yeah, right.
Right, right. But
Some
no, I
legendary
think now
titles.
Sheamus is sort of there just to help get the newer talent over. So, I don't think it'd be Sheamus that wins, unfortunately.
Oh my god, they needed a veteran title. So all of these old legends come back and fight against each other to be the veteran of the
Called it the
year.
golden oldies title.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
the
yeah. You
geriatric
see
title.
Hulk Hogan coming back and
Geriatric
Macho
title.
Man or whatever. That would be so
Brother.
funny, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess that's it. Drew McIntyre hopefully wins.
I think it'll be Drew. If not Drew, then I was gonna say Jay, but I don't
That
think
would be my
there's no
guess.
reason.
Because
Maybe, yeah.
when you look at Money in the Bank, you got to look at who do you think is champion quality? Because
Champion quality.
over 75% of the people that's won Money in the Bank and cashed it in has became champion. So you got to look at it from that standpoint. Like, who is good enough to be the champion?
LA
Who's good enough to be at the
Knight,
top of the
Jay
company?
Now,
Uso.
I see LA Knight losing so he can fight Logan
Yeah.
Paul at
Ah.
SummerSlam and take
Yeah.
the U.S. championship
True.
away from him
Yes.
in his hometown of
That's why
Ohio.
it was so weird that
Exactly,
he
that
won,
makes
to
sense.
be honest.
That
Yeah.
makes total sense.
So
Yeah.
this was just to procrastinate this whole feud.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Because they knew if he
Yeah.
doesn't win here, everybody would predict him against Logan Paul for this event. But
Yeah.
since he
But I
did
don't-
win, they removed that prediction.
And also, I don't think it's going to be Jay because he's kind of, I think very soon, at least, he's going to be sort of thrust back into the whole
Who Jay?
bloodline
Who's,
story.
Jay Uso,
Yeah.
you mean?
Jay.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Jey Uso.
Yeah,
I think
him
he's going to
holding
be thrown
the
back into
title.
the whole bloodline storyline. So,
Oh, the bloodline. Here we go.
should we talk about it? Let's
I
talk
was
about
gonna
the final match.
I got a couple crazy conspiracies about that too. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
ready.
yeah.
I am so mad. I think it's already uploaded, my reaction to the Paul Heyman situation with the bloodline. I was crying. I was so mad.
You thought he actually died?
I actually, yeah, funny story. We have like a Discord group, and I think Instant, you were the one who posted a picture of in
Yeah.
memory of in memory of Paul
Paul
Heyman, and
Heyman.
like literally his picture, like it looks like a death picture. I don't know how it's
Like
called,
a funeral.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a funeral or something.
eulogy.
And that's I literally had no idea what happened because I haven't reacted to SmackDown yet. And then I just see that, and I'm like, did Paul just die? Like, what is going on?
And then I
what's
had
so
to break
weird?
the ice, and I put a GIF in
Yeah,
there
you put
just
a
to
gif
make
that
sure.
was funny. A funny gif of
Yeah,
Paul
so-
crying or something. Like, you didn't even say rest in peace. And like, even the face of Paul, like, I'm gonna put that picture here. You
Because
can see it.
I
on
had
the-
to put that
doesn't
because
look-
I was like, otherwise Bunny's gonna think Paul's dead. Like,
No, I did for a second, but then the picture of him is kind of smiling. Like, who would put that
Yeah,
picture
yeah.
on someone who
Right.
is
Exactly.
dead? You know, it's kind
the
of
evil
trolly.
smile.
But
Yeah.
I had to make sure. I was like, guys, is Paul dead? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
He literally she wrote, did he die? And we're like, no.
then I knew it's time for me to
Oh,
actually watch SmackDown. And I watched it and I got so freaking mad. But I'm so happy for Paul for
It's
standing
great.
for himself.
You know what? Well, no, the thing is like, let's take it out of the
did you see
realm
that?
of
Because you
of the
didn't watch
story.
SmackDown.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you see? Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I know I did see certain parts of SmackDown. Yeah, of course.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, no. First off, props to Paul for going through with that spot. for a man of his age
Yeah.
and, let's face it, weight, to go through with a table spot like that when you're not a wrestler is amazing. We know
Yeah.
Paul as the father of ECW. He was the father of all things extreme wrestling. And for him to now at this age do a table spot like that and get the pop that it did and shock everyone like it did, that's just props to how amazing he is as a worker. I mean,
Yeah.
Paul's just up for anything. He's willing to do everything it takes to get a storyline over. And he's just, I love Paul so much. I've got so
Yeah.
much respect
And
for
when
what he
Jacob
does.
Fatu went on top of the rope and jumped on him, I was genuinely so scared for him. But gladly I
That was
saw
pretty nasty.
that. Huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Well, I was gonna say that headbutt off the top, that
But
kind of
Yeah.
like that looked like it connect. It did connect. It did connect with his
Not
head.
too
I was
much
like,
though. No.
not
It
too
was a
much,
bit
but
on the
enough.
shoulder and a bit on the head. It didn't connect
Yeah,
really on the
like
body, which I'm so happy about because I don't
no,
think
no,
he
no.
would be
Yeah,
able
of course,
to.
that's not the. Well, it's not a. It wasn't meant to be a splash. I think it was meant to be a
Yeah, it's a
headbutt,
flying
right?
headbutt. Yeah.
It's a flying headbutt, so that's
Oh,
what it's meant to be.
that's the move.
Um,
Okay.
Yeah, so Jacob actually, planted that pretty well, planted it sort of between the side of his head and the neck. So, and he didn't he held his head in a certain position where he wasn't following through. So, thankfully, I think Paul's okay, even
Yeah.
though it probably was a bit of what we call a bit of a stiff shot. Probably
I was
Paul
scared,
probably
yeah.
felt that for a while.
Oh,
But other than that, it looked
poor
great on
Paul.
TV. And no, he's great, man. I mean, it is sad. I mean, the storyline wise,
But they
we
know
knew
what
this
they're
was
doing.
coming, right? This is yeah, exactly. This is an important point of the story right here. Paul has finally had enough, and he's turned his back on Solo,
And
and that
unfortunately, the sad thing is that Cody, Randy, and KO left earlier. So they were not there
yeah,
to help him out. He was
no one was there
alone.
to help him.
And
Right.
But
that's what
then,
made us all feel so sad and so scared for him because we knew he's
what's so
helpless.
sad? No one came out to help him. I was like,
Yeah, I
nobody,
was
No,
like
expecting
nobody.
no
somebody, and
referees,
no one
Nobody,
came out.
no
hell, if I was
police.
allowed, I'd be going in, bro.
I was
Leave him
literally
alone.
screaming. I was like, hello, like somebody come and help him out, man. What are you doing just sitting? If I
And
was even
even
a commentator.
the commentators were like screaming, "Someone get him some help!
Yeah.
You can help him."
Yeah, like if I was a commentator, I would literally get up there and plant my body in front of them because like it's so unfair to see an old person like that getting hurt, especially a Hall of Famer like Paul Heyman. But I'm
It'll
so
be
happy
okay,
that he
but yeah.
denied it and denied the acknowledgement. Oh my God, honestly,
So
I
this is
keep hating more and more and more and more Solo. Like he's doing a
right.
great job for me to hate him.
We've got
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say regarding this whole bloodline thing. Now that this has happened, this is the tipping point, as I like to call it.
Is it
Um,
though?
so
Do you
yeah,
think
yeah,
we're gonna
yeah.
get
Because
more?
now,
I feel like
well,
we're
no,
gonna
so of
get more.
course, oh, way
Oh,
more.
we're
So
gonna get a
what
lot
I
more.
think
Because I don't think Roman
we've
Reigns
got
is coming soon. He
well,
lost
no.
his
So I
dad.
think
He
so.
needs some time with
Yeah,
his
yeah.
family.
It
I
needs some
don't see
time.
him coming
I
soon.
think at Money, I think we got two returns. We've got Jimmy and we've got Roman,
True.
right? So I think we're gonna get just
Jimmy
prediction.
before.
Of course, don't take my I think
Yeah,
Jimmy will be Money in the
I
Bank,
agree with you.
and then Roman SummerSlam, obviously for the big event.
Why
So
nobody's interviewing Jey Uso backstage to talk about the bloodline?
because that
Nobody's
hasn't been his
asking him.
focus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no one's really been talking to him
Like
about
he's
it. I
not
think he's
sharing
gonna
any
be
opinion
thrust.
about it, as if he was never a part of it. Or Sami
Right.
I
Zayn, let's
think
say, for example. Like no one is talking. Why Sami Zayn is not joining Kevin Owens and Randy Orton against the bloodline? Like he does have beef with this whole.
I mean, because he's already wrestling Braun.
I
Yeah.
know, but
Right?
still, like I just would like to see them giving any type of opinion about it. Like
Yeah, yeah.
hello, it's a big deal.
Well,
Like it's now the bloodline is literally interfering with management and everything around. Like they are becoming a
So I'm
force. They're bringing
guessing.
people who you can barely control in the company. So it's like, what's going on?
I think it's going to be Solo on the outside, right? And I think it will be obviously Tamatonga, Tongaloa, and
Jacob
Jacob on
Fatu,
in
his
the
brother
ring.
may
Yeah,
be joining.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I think it'll be those three against obviously Randy, Kevin, and Cody, and then Solo as he usually is, like PUSSY, on the outside, giving commands as he likes to do.
Yeah, and
So
I see the bloodline winning this match.
So we're talking about the Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton versus the Bloodline match. This is like, I think the last match that
exactly.
we have as well. That is, yeah, it's the last match I don't know if it's going to be in the last place in the event itself, but it's the last match that we can mention today. And in SmackDown, I don't know if you know, Wes, but immediately at the start of SmackDown, we see Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton interfere with the Bloodline entrance, and they fight. Even
Yeah.
referees come, and they destroy like the bodyguards, the referees. Cody Rhodes
Yeah.
went against the management, and they literally went savage mode. And I have a feeling that that's the hints that we are seeing, that Cody Rhodes is kind of turning more into a heel than a baby face in that, like, because Randy Orton is not a baby face. We know that he is. I don't know if it's is he a heel or something in between.
To me, he's like in
Randy's a
between.
babyface.
In between.
He's like an anti-hero.
Kevin Owens is
He's
a
kind of like a
babyface.
Stone Cold to
Yeah.
me.
I mean, even
Yeah.
even Kevin Owens is kind of like, if you were going to put it, if if there was that section of saying he's kind of in the middle, I'd put Kevin and Randy both sort
So
of.
now all
in
of
that
them in the
anti-hero.
middle. So these are the three people who are in the middle. Like, they are not anymore a specific role. They're not heels, but they're not babyface. And now we see Cody joining them because he knows that's the only way to deal with this bloodline, this version of the bloodline. And he
Gotta
already
get savage. Yeah.
yeah, they have to. But also seeing him going against everyone, they couldn't stop until the actual police officers came and took them. That means that they're losing control too, like they are really up there and they're really fed up with the bloodline, especially Cody. And I think the match is going to be a really savage match. It's going to be a
Yeah.
really violent match because this group in the bloodline, it's not what he dealt with before. This is a totally new bloodline. This is a violent group.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think that the Bloodline will win because they don't want Cody to like win and then already make it like, see, you already dismantled
No,
your
it would be
Bloodline
already
again.
finished. Yeah, no.
So I think Jacob Fatu might pin Randy because Randy's like kind of like, I'm here just to kind of help get everybody over. And then they just introduced Jacob as like, he's really fierce. Like, to me, if it wasn't for Solo, I could see him leading the Bloodline, honestly. But
Oh,
they
yeah.
got him more as like he's kind of like the mindless,
I love
crazy
him.
dog on
Yeah,
a
he's
chain.
so
You got to
cool.
try to keep him in
Yeah,
check.
yeah.
So
But what-
I
what's
could
funny
see
He's
is,
the only
Jacob
one who
getting
bows
pinned.
to Solo. He's like
Yeah,
he's like
yeah.
similar to Solo when he was entering the bloodline with Roman Reigns. Like 100% there, and
Well, his nickname, the Werewolf, is definitely fitting because he really comes off like that. Like he's just crazy and insane.
gives
Like
me
you can't
crazy-
you see how
contain
he
him.
looked
with,
like?
with his hair, and
Uh-huh.
everything, like he gives me crazy Umaga vibes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Crazy
love him
Umaga
so
vibe.
much because when
I love it.
when he was talking, when Solo was talking, and you see the Tonga brothers on each side, they're just like respectfully standing still and listening. Nah, Jacob Fatu in the background, back and forth walking with that
Yeah.
face like that, like a crazy
Yeah, he's like
face.
foaming out of the mouth. Like, just let me fight
yeah.
somebody.
Like he just wants to fight. It's crazy.
I mean, if
What's
we are
his
gonna-
title? The
Werewolf.
no.
Simone, is it? Simone?
For the bloodline, he has like his own like character or something. Infiltrator. No, I don't remember, but there was a
Enforcer?
word.
Is that what it was?
Enforcer.
Enforcer?
Yeah, the
Enforcer.
enforcer. He's the enforcer of the group. That's what they call. But I have a feeling that this bloodline match is gonna have maybe one more person joining the bloodline, introducing a new, maybe his brother or something like that.
I mean, we kind of knew about Jacob joining for months because it's been speculated that he was joining the company and he was training and everything. So we kind of knew Jacob was sort of coming into the WWE. I haven't heard about anyone else for the
What about
moment.
his brother? What's going on with his brother? Does anyone know?
Jake-
Jacob Fatu's
Jacob's brother?
brother? Yeah, Jacob Fatu brother. He has a brother, right? Sam Fatu. No, is that him? Rikishi? No, Maka.
No, Rikishi is the Usos dad.
Ri-
Jacob
Yeah.
Fatu. I thought he has a brother. Or maybe a cousin. Zilla Fatu. Who's Zilla Fatu?
I mean, Zilla's
Zilla Fatu, the
isn't that
new talent who is
Umaga's son?
expected. See?
Yeah.
This
That
is
was-
this
that was-
was
that was
mentioned. The
Umaga's
new
son.
talent who is expected to join the bloodline on the front line is Zilla Fatu. The wrestler is
Right.
currently a free agent who has performed and gained experience by working in
Ah.
various indie promotions.
Yeah, so I've been watching some of his YouTube. I watched a couple of videos. So he's the son of Umaga, I believe. And so yeah, he's been doing great on the indie circuit. Very, very ferocious competitor. So I think that would be great to see him in the company.
I feel
It,
like it's a possibility because even Sportskida published on June 27, Zila Fatou sends Bloodline-esque message as rare footage of Jacob Fatou emerges following WWE debut. So he knows what's going on and he is into
Of
the
course.
story and whatnot. So I have a
Yeah,
feeling like
be
if
part of
you
it.
bring these two, the Bloodline is like it's crazy, like it's
Complete.
unstoppable, like you cannot stop it. I don't know.
if
I feel
he
like that's a possibility.
if they add another person though, I feel like he'll be at SummerSlam. I feel like Money in the Bank, like since they
Yeah,
just
it's a bit
introduced
too
Jacob,
early.
like
Yeah, too early
I
to
feel like
do
they want
so.
to give him time to like kind of cook and
Too
get
early.
But the
himself
next member,
established.
in my opinion, could be Zilla.
I think it will happen like that. I think it will be like Zilla comes in, decimates everyone, everyone's going crazy, and then we hear Roman's music and everyone goes crazy, and
Yeah,
Roman comes
yeah,
back.
So,
yeah.
do you want to
Brilliant.
hear my crazy speculation
Wait,
of like
before you do
how
that, with
everything's
Jimmy
gonna pan
Uso,
out?
you mentioned that he might be joining as well. Do you think
I'm,
he might
I'm,
join in Money in the Bank
well,
or
well, that's
later?
what I'm kind of hoping it would be something like Money in the Bank. It might not. It might be something like Raw. It might be the Raw after Money in the Bank, right? So
And if
we
he
don't
joins,
know
do you think
when.
he's gonna be on the side of the Bloodline or against it?
No, no, he'll be
On
babyface
Cody's.
because
Yeah,
they turned on
Face.
him. They turned on him, didn't they?
Yeah,
They
Solo
right.
put
kicked him
Solo in and
out.
beat him up.
He's the reason he's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
out. Yeah,
Exactly.
true.
So I think Jimmy will be babyface, and it will have to be a situation as to where Jimmy's going to save. I think he'll have to save his brother from some sort of beat down. So it might not be
Jay.
Money in the Bank. It might be on, yeah, yeah. So I think it might be something like on Raw or something like that. Like in some way, Jay's gonna get attacked, and then Jimmy's gonna come save his brother. The Usos team back up, and
Okay.
then that slowly builds up, and you're gonna have old Bloodline versus new Bloodline, and that'll be
Oh, I
the
would love
Raw.
to see that definitely. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
WrestleMania
yeah.
41 appear like in 1 month, and then we have The Rock coming back with the
Yeah,
old
That's
Bloodline
even though
versus Roman
even
Reigns.
though I mean,
yeah,
even
that
though
was
Rock wants to
that's
fight
part of my
Cody anyway.
conspiracy, like
Okay,
my
let's
little
see. Let's
thing
hear what
about it.
Instant has to say. Oh, but before we
So,
do so, Wizzy, I think your fan started working on your laptop, like heating up. Because when you talk, I hear it in the background. Just wanted to say that. Okay, let's go Instant.
so I think what is going to happen is it's going to be revealed that The Rock was in Solo's ear the entire time, like giving him commands behind the scenes. And then when Roman returns, Roman will be, they're going to, so right now we got like the bad bloodline. And then we're going to have the good bloodline with like Roman and Jimmy and Jay and all them. And then Roman's going to come back on the good bloodline and Rock will appear and be like, you're not tribal chief. I beat Cody. You couldn't beat Cody. You're not worth being in the family and you're not head of the table material, like all that. Then there's going to be a big build up. And then WrestleMania will be Rock versus Roman, like bloodline versus bloodline.
That's so perfect. It's so perfect because people want Roman Reigns as a babyface, and people want The Rock to continue
Rock
staying a
as a
heel
heel.
because he's
And we
so good
wanted
at
to
it.
see Rock and Cody or Rock and Roman
Roman
fight for
fight
the
each other. Like
longest.
we didn't
Yeah,
want it this year because Cody had to finish the story, but
exactly.
yeah, it's not
Even
that
though
we
Rock
hated the
wanted
idea.
to,
We just wanted Cody to finish the story. But now that he did, the next
and then
possibility and the next best thing would be Roman versus The Rock. So
because on
yeah,
the Raw, after the Rock was like, when I come back, I'm gonna come for you, Cody. But I
yeah,
don't think that that'll happen now. I think it will be Roman Rock for sure.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. We'll see. I mean, there is still time for that, definitely. But yeah, I think we covered everything. Do you have anything else to add?
I think that's it.
That's it. Somehow we always end up around like 50 minutes or something. Like it's so weird that it's almost always the same time. But thank you guys so
There's
much
a
for
lot of good.
talking with me. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff happening right now. It's going to be a great
Oh, I'm
event,
so
and
excited. I'm
Yep.
going to be reacting to the Money in the Bag from previous year because I have no idea what happened there. I didn't even know how these matches work and function. Like the first couple of days when somebody mentioned, I didn't even know it's the ladder match. Like I had no idea
Yeah.
what's going on.
And
But
it's a six-way,
now I'm
six-way
caught
ladder
up.
match.
Yeah, in 6-way. I thought it was like 1 versus 1 or something like that. But
No.
now I figured it out. I'm caught up. So I'm gonna go and watch the Money in the Bank 2023 event. So I'm caught up with that one as well. Before I go live on Bunnymon channel, on this channel on YouTube, where we are gonna watch the event together. And also then I'm gonna be sharing it on my Patreon, patreon.com/supportbunny, where you will be able to see the whole event with the video and audio and everything there. But yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Thank you, Insta and Wizzy, for joining me and talking with me about
Of
it.
course.
Thank you.
See you
Thank you very
guys.
much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.